So we're going to start off with what is marketing. I'm going to try to unpack it for you and explain all the nitty-gritty little elements. Then I'm going to jump into explaining what can marketing achieve? Why is it something that you should invest in for your business? It sounds like a no-brainer, but if you actually sit and think about it, sometimes you start to wonder, why am I putting money behind this? Then I'm going to touch on some important marketing terms that you should know about. These marketing terms are going to help you unlock understanding of marketing, understanding of what should you put your money into, things like that. And then at the end, Callan is going to take you through, as I said, how to build a free Google My Business profile, which is just this awesome marketing avenue that you can use. So stay to the end so that you can take advantage of that. And then we're also going to give you a code at the end of this session for the free social media marketing audit that we're going to do for all of you wonderful attendees. Okay, great, guys, let's get cracking. So let's start off. What is marketing? Marketing can seem like a very big, scary concept. It's quite intimidating. It can seem difficult to grasp and truly unpack, but today I'm going to try my best to explain it and to make it as simple as possible for you. The first step in selling your product or your service is understanding the theory behind how to get your product and your service out there, which is also known as marketing. So at its core, marketing is purely just trying to get as many people as possible to hear about, know about, talk about, see, and ultimately buy whatever it is that you're selling or doing. Okay, great. Let's delve a little deeper. What is marketing? What is marketing at its core? So we've got this awesome little schematic, this little diagram to show you that'll hopefully help make it simpler. But in a broad sense, marketing has different phases, different important phases and different elements that make up the bigger picture of marketing. After you have your business and your product and your service, you've thought about what products are you selling, you've thought about you've done your research and you've thought about how to price your product or your service competitively. The next stage of the process is now coming from a creative perspective and brainstorming, how can you push this to people? How can you get it in front of eyeballs? What can you do differently? What can you do differently from your competitors? What can you do the same as your competitors? What are they doing right that is pushing product, that is getting sales? This first phase of creation and idea generation, it's fun and it's creative. You're thinking about, how do you want to market your product? Do you want to use social media? Do you want to use a website? Do you want to use Google Ads, email marketing, billboards? Do you want to drop 1 million flyers from a helicopter over your city? This first phase it's fun and it's big and it's visionary and it's strategic. It's okay to be a little bit unrealistic and crazy. Just think big, think about all the options available to you. But once you have thought about all the different options and you have thought about what marketing strategies are open to you and your industry and your business, it is then time to winnow down and start getting a little bit more realistic. You'll need to start thinking about your budget. You know, what can you do with your budget to get the best results? If you're running a marketing campaign yourself, if you're taking care of the marketing activities for your business, you need to start thinking about the time aspect involved with your marketing strategy as well. How much of your time will it take to actually design the social media posts and put it up and engage on social media, etc.? You'll also need to think about the skills that you'll need to teach yourself if you're planning on doing the marketing yourself. So, you know, some people, some businesses, when you start out, you don't necessarily have the budget to outsource it to a marketing company. So that's perfectly fine if you do need to start it out with just you. You need to think about if you're going to do your marketing yourself, you need to think about, are you going to teach yourselves the basic of graphic design? If so, we recommend watching our previous workshop, which is up on YouTube under Fizzin, where we took you through how to use Canva, which is this free graphic design software that it's not hard to use. It doesn't come with many learning curves. So we recommend that you go check that out if you are someone who doesn't have the budget to outsource your social media marketing or graphic design in particular. Okay, great. So although I've just gone on for a while about how you can learn the skills yourself and how you can teach yourself all the things you need to know, some people just aren't creative people, and some people just don't have the time to learn the skills that you'll need to use in order to market your product and your business successfully. So that's when it becomes time to outsource to a marketing company like Fizzin. Basically, if you are thinking of outsourcing, if you do have the budget to do that, then shop around for a little bit, find a marketing agency that fits with your budget, fits with your needs and your requirements. If you're looking for a splashy, premium, high-end agency, do your research, look for things like that, and just be aware that there will be a price tag that comes along with that. Okay, great. So I've taken you through the first phase of the marketing process for the communication process with your clients, which is the fun creation idea generation stage. But after you've had your fun brainstorming the different ideas and you've winnowed it down to some viable, realistic options, you then need to get even more practical in the next phase, which is the action phase. This is the part of the process where you're actually going to physically carry out the designing of the social media content or the posts or the captions, if you're doing it yourself, if you're not outsourcing it to an agency. Or it's the part where you're meeting with the print media company that's helping you design print media, and you're talking to them about the flyers or the newspaper ads or the magazine ads that you want to put up for your business. In the action phase, you're planning and scheduling and aligning your marketing channels to the campaigns that you want to run. And then once we've finished with that action phase, we're moving to the next phase of the marketing process, which is the implementation phase. So if you or a third party that you've paid for their marketing knowledge to, you've outsourced your marketing, they're running your marketing campaigns. This is the part of the process where you or your agency is physically posting your social media posts, for example, or physically engaging on Facebook. Or this is the part where you're getting in your car to drive to the trade show where you're going to market your goods and your services. So as long as your business is up and running, you're going to constantly be cycling through this process. You're going to be constantly cycling through these different stages in the marketing process. And you're going to be doing it in big ways, like I just discussed. I just discussed it very generally and overall, but you're also going to be running through it in small ways. So an example is if you're posting a social media post about a special sale that you're running on a product that you're selling. In the first phase, the idea generation phase, you'll be thinking about, what do you want the sale to achieve? How much, what sort of percentage are you taking off on your product? How is this going to affect your bottom line, the sale that you're going to run? Is it going to bring in more people? Why is it going to bring in more people? You're also going to think about how long is the sale running for? All the big picture stuff. And then once you've nailed all of that down, you'll move to the action phase and you'll actually pull out Canva and design your little social media post. And then in the third phase, the implementation phase, you'll actually log onto Instagram and post the little social media post. Okay, great. So I've taken you through this easy, simple to remember diagram of what the marketing process entails. But I haven't mentioned a fourth important step that we should be adding in here, which is evaluation. So once the marketing campaign has ended, whatever it is that you're doing, whether it's social media marketing or newspaper ads or whatever it is that you've invested in, you then need to sit down and actually weigh up the performance of your marketing campaign versus the results that you were expecting. This is very important because it's going to help you understand, is this a good place to continue to put money, or should you find another marketing avenue, another marketing channel that you should rather invest in? Okay, great, guys. So hopefully you now have a fantastic idea of what marketing is and what the process entails. Now let's talk about what can marketing achieve. So first off, different marketing channels and platforms must be used to achieve different objectives. One kind of marketing is not going to get you the same results as another kind of marketing. So super important to keep that in mind. A really good metaphor to use is, you know how we use different cutlery for different foods? We're not going to try to cut a steak with a spoon or eat soup with a knife or something like that. It's the same way that social media marketing isn't going to achieve what email marketing is going to achieve, or isn't going to achieve what Google Ads is going to achieve, for example. So keep in mind that different platforms, different ways of marketing do different things for your business. Okay, so back to what can marketing achieve? Well, it can achieve a lot. Some ideas that we can share with you are, you can create awareness with your marketing tactics about a topic or a product or a service, a sale, an event that you're running. Another thing that marketing can achieve is attracting new clients by showing people who don't know about you that you exist and that you offer XYZ. Another thing that marketing can do is help you to retain existing clients by adding even more value and knowledge to them on top of the product and the service that you're offering them. Another thing that marketing can help you achieve is generating leads. So for example, if you think about an email hook, which is, maybe it's a free downloadable that you've put on your site and people have to plug in their email address before they download it. this kind of marketing technique is helpful to you because you then have the opportunity to communicate personally one-on-one with these people. You can constantly show up in their inbox over and over again and tell them about products, tell them about sales, tell them about events, etc. Another thing that marketing can do for you is increase your sales and your revenue, which is the gold standard of marketing, right? When I say that, if you say marketing, you think sales revenue, you want to increase the income that you have. So that is something that marketing can help you achieve. And then a last idea that marketing can help you to achieve is just creating a community. It can help to rally a group of people around a cause or a concept, like saving the planet or voting for a particular person in an election, for example, if we're thinking non-business related. Okay, great. So now back to how different platforms and different marketing avenues achieve different things. Let's look at Fizzin, for example. So I'm going to take you through all the different marketing channels that Fizzin uses and why we use them. What different things do our marketing channels achieve? So first off, we use our blog platform to create a community and to add value to our clients and communities' lives and businesses. We're not directly selling anything in our blogs. We're not writing blogs about what services we offer, but instead we're providing tips and tricks and general marketing information. With this sort of Trojan horse approach, what you're trying to do is build trust and build reliance between you and potential clients. If your potential clients organically find you interesting and find you worthwhile, they will look into your products, and because they already trust you, they will be more likely to continue through that sales funnel and make that final purchase with you and spend money on you. So if they see you as an authority in your space who knows what they're talking about, they're much more likely to trust you and thus buy from you. Another sort of marketing technique we use, which you wouldn't think about, is a logo. So a logo is part of branding, which is a segment of your marketing techniques. So the Fizzin logo helps us to be identifiable, which is an important part of marketing. We need anyone who sees us on social media or sees an ad in a newspaper or whatever to automatically associate whatever it is we're trying to sell with Fizzin, right? So just some important tips for your logo is try to make it stand out as much as possible. Look at what other people in your industry are using for logos and maybe try to make it a little bit different. So if you're in the construction industry, for example, there's a very particular look and feel that people use for their logos. Maybe try to make it something completely different. Maybe try to make it something a little bit more spunky and fun so that people automatically, it jumps out at them and they kind of think, whoa, this seems interesting. What is this business about? Something else, a tip to keep in mind with your logo that people often get wrong, don't try to go too crazy with your logo. Try to make it as simple as possible because this helps you when you're posting it on, if you're putting your logo on a little social media post or putting your logo on a business card or putting your logo on a billboard, whatever size you make it, it still needs to make sense and it still needs to be recognizable. Okay, great. Another marketing technique that Fizzin uses is our website. So this is one of the most important parts of our marketing and any business's marketing. This is where people go to find out, what the heck does Fizzin do? What services do we offer? What prices do we offer? What's our culture like? How do we operate? All of those nitty-gritty aspects, which you can't just flood that information on social media, for example. Your website's extremely important because it's the central hub that you will constantly be pushing people to. So if you're marketing on social media, you will tell people to, hey guys, go look at my website. If you're marketing on Google Ads, the Google ad tells people, go to the website, go to the website. So just keep in mind that your website should look fantastic. It should communicate everything that there is to communicate about you. And you can think of it as sort of this little physical store in the digital world where digital little people are going to find your product and find your service. So the same way that if you do have a physical store and you are selling physical products, you do need to have that in the digital world too, because nowadays everyone's spending their time online. Another marketing tactic that Fizzin uses is email marketing. So we use this marketing campaign and this marketing strategy to communicate with our community about events or special offers, for example, like our workshops and our webinars and stuff like that. We just use it to communicate and talk to our audience. Email marketing is super, super effective because you're talking directly to your potential client. There's nothing else that exists that's so personal, because it would be irritating if all the businesses in the world were talking to you over WhatsApp or something like that. Email marketing is sort of this perfect balance between personal but also not too personal. Okay, great. Finally, we use social media marketing at Fizen, but we don't use it to necessarily push product. Yes, sure, every now and again we put an ad up of a product or a service, or we put an ad up of an event that we're running. But more often than not, all we're trying to do is just educate our community and add value to them, and educate them about digital trends and digital marketing platforms and stuff like that. We're just trying to publicize our culture and our vibe and add value to them and add knowledge to them. So as you can see, at Fizen, although we use lots of these different channels and platforms to market our business, we're not focusing on the hard sale. We're not just telling people, buy. We're not trying to just shove our services and our prices down their throats. We're focusing on the soft sale. We're trying to say, listen, guys, this is how we operate. This is our culture. This is our vibe. These are the tactics that you can use to market your business more professionally. We're not so much focused on pushing the hard sale. But we do have a tactic that we use to get clients primarily, which is referrals. So when a happy client goes and tells another happy client that Fizen exists and about our prices, we also use lead generation platforms like Google Ads. So that's purely focused on the hard sale. So that's an ad on Google that just says, Fizen, affordable digital marketing, social media marketing from $5.99 a month, or whatever it happens to be. We're not focusing on the fluffy, frilly stuff. And then another thing that we use to bring in clients is our strategic business partnerships. So the point that I'm trying to make with all of this is that your business's marketing cannot solely be focused on buy. You do need to focus on the softer stuff. You need to be human. You need to connect with people on a human level and provide them with value. Talk to them about the stuff they care about. Don't just constantly shove your stuff down their throats, because they're not going to want to follow you. They're not going to want to click on your website if that's all you're doing. All right, so we've touched on the different things that marketing can achieve. Now we're going to touch on some important marketing terms that can really help you unlock even more ideas and understanding of, what is marketing? How can you market your business and your product? So let's start off with call to action, or CTA. So this is a really important concept. It's basically something that tells your potential client how to take action, how to buy your product or sign up or donate or whatever it is that you want them to do. What's the next step after seeing your ad or whatever it happens to be? A CTA may be a button on your social media post that says buy here. It might be at the end of your social media caption, something that says get in touch with us via, and then you give them a number, you give them an email address, you give them your website URL. You're directing your audience to do something with a CTA. You're ordering them to do something. So it needs to be clear, it needs to be short, it needs to be simple. You can't ramble on forever. You just clearly state, this is our website, this is our email address, this is our phone number. And you tell them, what do you want to do? Because sometimes that's something we see a lot with our clients. If you push too many avenues of communication, people get overwhelmed. So try to focus on, okay, for this week, I'm just pushing the website. For this week, I'm just pushing the phone number. For this week, I'm just pushing the email address, for example. All right. Now let's talk about the next term, which is your unique selling proposition, or your USP. This is what we're talking about throughout this whole workshop. I've been reiterating it over and over again. Why you? Why are your clients picking you over the multitude of other competitors in your industry? What makes you unique? What are you selling? What are you selling that's different? Why should people spend their hard-earned money on you and not on a competitor? Why should they spend their hard-earned money on you and not a holiday or a new laptop or something like that? Thinking about your USP will really help you to understand, what should you push in your marketing? What do you need to focus on that makes you different? What should you keep bringing up with your audience over and over again to remind them, hey guys, this is why we're different. This is the thing that makes us stand out. It might be your prices. It might be the fact that you're completely virtual. It might be the fact that you're closer to them. Whatever it happens to be, why are you different to everybody else out there? Another marketing term to keep in mind when you're thinking of your marketing strategy for your business is your target audience. So you need to think about this before you even spend 1 cent on your marketing strategies. You need to think about, who are you talking to? Who the heck are you trying to market to? Are you marketing to only females? Are you marketing to young people, old people? How young? How old? Why do these people have a problem that only you can solve? You need to think about, do they prefer sophisticated looking sort of stuff? Do they prefer fun stuff? Do they prefer color? Do they prefer black and white? Get as specific as you possibly can and literally build your dream person. If you had an ideal client that you could clone and that clone would just keep buying from you, who would it be? What would they look like? Where are they spending their time? What days are they spending on social media? What times are they on social media? Are they on Facebook? Are they on Instagram? Because obviously different kinds of people spend their time on different areas. This, if you get as specific as possible and if you focus on your target audience, this will really, really help you to avoid the spray and pray approach, which is where you just spend money on every kind of marketing campaign and technique that you can think of and hope that it works. That is not a good approach to use, because then you're just wasting money and wasting time. If you get specific and you spend your money on the places that your people are hanging out on, you will get results. Okay, great. Another term to keep in mind when you're thinking of your marketing is your branding or your corporate identity or your CI. So I'm going to use the term CI going forward. Lots of acronyms, I know. Your branding and your CI is just a collection of all the little things that make you, that make your business. How do you present yourself to the world? How do you present yourself to your clients? It includes all the little things like your color palette, your font palette. What kind of words do you use? What kind of tone do you use in your captions? Are you funny? Are you light? Are you very serious and professional? All of these little things make up who you are and who you are to your clients, especially. Giving this some thought and making it consistent, consistency is key, will help you to maintain trust between you and your potential clients. If you have the same look and feel over a couple months, over a couple of years, you will become identifiable to your market, and you won't be seen as wishy-washy, someone who changes their color palette every 3 seconds. That is something we see with a lot of startups when they begin and when they're doing their own marketing, is that they don't pay enough attention and pay enough time to the fact that you do need to remain consistent with something as simple as your color scheme. Okay, great. Now let's talk about another marketing term, which is your budget, the dreaded budget that no one wants to talk about and no one wants to think about. The amount itself doesn't matter. A lot of agencies and a lot of marketing professionals out there will try to tell you that there's a certain amount you need to put aside. Ultimately, there is a lot of free tools and a lot of things you can achieve with a couple $100. Obviously, if you're spending 50 Rand a month, I don't think you're going to see any results, but you can achieve a lot with just $500 a month. The key is that you need to be consistent, and you need to be consistent with the input amount. So what that means is, instead of putting aside $200 this month, $500 next month, then it was your birthday and everyone chipped in and gave you 10 grand to spend on your business. Don't do that. Don't fluctuate. Stick to a certain amount and try to eke it out over time. Business is a long-term game, with your marketing especially, but you in general with business. It's all about the last man standing. Who can stand there longest? Who can just bear with all the horrors of running a business the longest? Think about also not spreading yourself too thin with your budget. If you want to do social media marketing and email marketing and radio ads and billboards, but your budget is set at $200 a month, you're just going to be able to spend like 10 Rand on all of these different things. So try to focus on one thing that you can pour your entire budget into, especially if it's very little to start off with, which is completely fine. You don't need 10 grand to start with. The most important thing is to just start. And it's also okay in your first year or so, or whenever it is you're starting out. For some businesses, the startup period is 2 years or 5 years. Whatever your start out period is, it's okay to accept that you're going to be experimenting, you're going to be trying different things. It's okay to not stick to one marketing technique and stick with that for 5 years. You can shop around, play around with, does Google Ads work, does social media work, does email marketing work, and play around with where to put your money, play around with what gets you the best results, what gets you the biggest bang for your buck. Okay, great. Now the last term I want to take you through is channels and platforms. So this is what I've been talking about over and over and over again in this workshop. Remember that there are tons of different avenues that you can market on. There's the digital sphere, there's the print sphere, and then within each of these different spheres, there are lots of little sub-spheres and sub-segments. So for example, in print media, you have billboards and signposts and flyers and posters and business cards. And then in the digital world, you have social media marketing, email marketing, Google Ads, Google My Business profiles, SEO, just lots of different kinds of things. And then within each of these little subsections, you have even more subsections. So for example, you have the world of digital marketing, then you have social media, which falls a part of that digital world. And then under social media marketing, you have 10 different social media options. So it's important to just remember that different platforms serve different people. Different people are hanging out in different places, and that you, if you're doing your own marketing or your agency, will need to spend a bit of time figuring out where are your people hanging out, because your business, even if it is part of a massive industry that has lots of other businesses, is unique, it's different. And the people that you're going after are a certain kind of people. So you need to spend some time figuring out, are they on Facebook? Are they on Facebook groups, or are they just on normal Facebook posts? What times are they on Facebook? What days are they on Facebook? So you really have to get nitty gritty with it.
I'm going to be taking you through pretty much Google My Business. So we're going to start off with a little bit of what is Google My Business, and then we'll head over onto the benefits of having a Google My Business profile. And from there, we'll go into the whole live demonstration, setting up your accounts, and all of the little nitty gritty stuff. So first off, what is Google My Business? What does it do? Why do we have it? And how do we get it? So Google My Business is pretty much a free tool that is offered by Google that allows you to manage and control your business's online presence as a whole. It's a place that shows people and your viewers and potential customers all the general information about a business. For example, it will show you the location, opening times, contact details, etc., etc. It is also a place where people can come in and leave reviews and comments about your business, and you can then go in and reply and just create a sort of little community on Google. But we'll show you how to do all of that stuff later. Cool, so next up, this is what I'm pretty sure most people have come across a Google My Business profile in some form or another. So if we take a look at Debonair's Hillcrest over here, you can see the little blue square. That is what your Google My Business profile looks like. That's what it comes across as. You can see there it's got some service options, the address, the hours, all of the little updates. Once again, like I said, it's pretty much an online presence on Google for your company. Okay, so what are the benefits of having a Google My Business profile? Why should you have one? What are you going to gain from having one? Okay, so there's 4 pretty much major compartments that go into this. So the first importance of having a Google My Business profile is that it allows you to manage the information that people read about online, or how people sort of view your profile, your company's profile online. So when setting up your Google My Business profile, it's always important to make sure that whatever information you include on this profile or that you add to it is correct, because that is the information that people are going to look at and see, and you don't want to confuse them and say that you're open on a Monday, but you're not. The next important part about why you should have a Google My Business profile is that it allows you to interact with customers. So like I said earlier, people are able to come in, leave reviews, ask questions. So if somebody wants to know if you're open on public holidays, they'll most of the times ask that question on your Google My Business profile, and you can then go in and reply, and those questions and reviews are available for other people to come in and see. So if somebody has a question that's already been asked, they can then already see it, and all your business information is up there. The third important part is it improves your business's search engine optimization, otherwise known as SEO. So how it does this is having a Google My Business profile makes it a lot easier for people to find your business on Google. Thus, you'll reach more people, you'll have more eyes on your business, people will be more likely to find your business and ultimately purchase your products, purchase your services, whatever it is that you offer. The last important little checkbox over there is authenticity. So we've all had it, you come across this business, whatever it is, and there's very little information on it and what it does, and thus you don't really trust it. Going hand in hand with that, if the more information you put onto Google about your business, such as your website, your Google My Business profile, if you run Google Ads, this all increases your brand's or your business's authenticity, and people are more likely to trust your company and purchase your products and do business with you, whatever it is that might come of it, because the information's there. They can trust you. You have a website, your operating hours are shown, they can contact you. Your location is there. Location is very, very important, especially if you have a shop or in a mall and stuff like that. Perfect. So now we've gone through what is Google My Business and what are the benefits of having it. So let's go through a live setup, a live demonstration. So I'm just going to hop over to my other little section over here. Before we do this, I'll show you the debonair one that we were in that little square. So once again, this is pretty much what it looks like. It's this whole long little section. Here's your reviews and all your operating hours. Again, there's the updates, the website, menu, everything is pretty much there. This is what it looks like to the everyday person. Great, so to set it up, you'll go into Google, you'll just type in Google My Business, pretty much easy peasy, and you'll land up on a page that looks like this. So to set that up, we are just going to type in, let's use a little clothing brand. Great, so once you've done that, this is when your profile setup actually starts. So your business category, this is a baby clothing brand. Whatever your business category is, you'll put it in there. If you're a digital marketing agency, if you do couriering, any sort of those little business categories, you pop that in there. You'll click next. And now this is the part where you can add in your location. So if you have a store in a mall, or if you have a specific location that you would like your potential customers or people to go to, then you would click yes. If not, you click no. So this is a online store phantom brand. So we're just going to click no because I don't have a location to enter. Where do you serve your customers? So this is your operating areas. Are you global? Are you very, very specific down to a little town? You can get very, very specific with the areas. So for example, we can start with South Africa as a whole. We can narrow it down to KwaZulu-Natal. And we can go even further as to say Durban. And yeah, like I said, you can get super specific. You can really, really refine your areas of operation. Great, so now we enter contact details. So like I said earlier, very, very important in terms of creating brand authenticity. You want people to trust you, you want people to trust your business, your brand, and the best way to do that is to provide people with as much information as you possibly can. The more they know, the more likely they are to purchase your brand, purchase your products. So we'll just put in a phone number over here. And I don't need a website at the moment, like I said, phantom brand. You can get a free website based on your information. You'll just get a simple, very, very plain Google website. So we'll go next. Okay, so one of the very not so great things about Google My Business is that you need to verify your posting address. And how they do this is you enter in your mailing address over here, and they mail you a very, very, very important little piece of paper that has a verification code on it. And without that verification code, you can't verify your account. And following that, there's a lot of features you won't be able to use on the Google My Business profile without verifying your account, but we'll get into all of that later. So I'm going to verify later. Okay, and then this is when you add in your business hours. So are you open all of these days? Maybe you're closed on a Wednesday and a Sunday. Oh, you're open on a Wednesday, Sunday, and let's leave Saturday is closed. And you can pick a time, so we'll just be open 24 hours. Then you'll go next. Add messaging. So this is, I explained earlier, it allows people to message your business on Google, add comments, whatever it is that they feel they would like to add. So we'll accept messages. And this is when you'll go and add in your business description. So we'll keep this one short and sweet. You can add photos, but obviously I don't have any photos right now, so we'll just skip this. You can, if you do skip something, you can go back and add it in later, and yeah. We'll skip that. Great, so this is the back end of Google My Business. We have gone through that whole process of setting it up. We've given Google all the information we possibly can, and now we have our very basic Google My Business account. So this is the landing page that has all of your quick links. If you want to add a manager, if you want to create a post, add more pictures, logos, and then obviously verify. So if you come over to the left over here, these are your little tabs that has everything. So for example, info, all that information that we put in the beginning is going to come up here. You can see, there we go. So no location, service areas, operating hours, and we can go ahead and edit these. So for example, all of a sudden we are now closed on Tuesdays. We're closed. And that effect will automatically show on your Google My Business on the Google end of things. And if you wanted to add a website or any health and safety attributes, you can edit it all in the info section. Then Insights is really cool. Unfortunately, you can only, like I explained earlier, if you don't verify, there are some features that are going to be locked, such as Insights. But this is pretty much where you can come in to see how many people are actually searching your business on Google, how many people are clicking your Google My Business links, how many people are engaging, leaving comments, all of that stuff, which is really great to help you create and adjust marketing strategies, or maybe implement new marketing strategies in future. Then we have reviews and messages. So once again, these are, you do have to verify to enable this feature. But as I explained earlier, this is where you come and you pretty much create your Google community. So people will come in, they'll leave you a review, maybe a 5-star review, and you can reply to that review and say, thanks so much, like, oh my word, great. They can leave messages, like I explained earlier, asking you if you're open at certain times, or just any question that somebody might have, and then you could come into messages and reply to that. Photos. So photos, if we go back to our Debonair's one, they're talking about these photos over here. So you'll choose to add in a logo, which would be this little feature right here. Cover picture and videos. You can also add team photos, product photos. You can create an identity, all in the photo section, and then adding users to your profile. So if you have somebody else who maybe manages your social media marketing, or somebody internally who you just want to hand this over to so that they can do all the admin, you'll just add a user over here. You'll click that, type in their email address, and they will be given user access.